the world's greatest detective, the Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight, Bats, whatever it is you know him by, I'm taking a deep dive, embarking on a journey to discover the story of the Batman. Welcome everyone, my name is Juan Wilson. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to talk about Batman. Batman's my favorite superhero, and this video is really dedicated to, setting sail, like I said, on the journey to discover Batman's story, to really read up through the comics, the beginning of his story, and all the way through, really, to current issues, current comic book issues. Now, I am a complete comic book noob, if you will. So welcome all of you who are comic book lovers, comic book super fans, Batman super fans, or Batman haters. Hey, we don't discriminate. Anybody's welcome, I guess. Whatever side of the fence you fall on, I guess. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Batman. And I'm excited to become more of a super fan by reading the source material. And like I said, this is something that I intend to read from the beginning of his story through to kind of current timeline, if you will. I actually did a lot of research in trying to discover where to start. And thank goodness there was a lot of good, helpful resources. And I was able to compile, some good, kind of a good reading order. In fact, actually, shout out to Academic Agents, his video, which I'll link in the description. Go check him out, subscribe, all that stuff. Give him some good love. And I'll kind of be following loosely, or actually pretty closely, especially initially, what he has laid out in that video, which is very helpful. But it was funny because there was a lot of people very discouraging comments as I tried to do some research. People saying, don't even attempt it, trying to read the story from the beginning, just with all the craziness. Because of course, we're not starting from the literal first appearance of Batman, which I believe was in 1939 in Detective Comics. And there's the different eras. I'm learning all these things. I'm, like I said, a total noob when it comes to this, so correct me on anything in the comments or direct me as well. Help me to succeed here in my task. But as I was saying, I guess there's a ton of eras, and there's the post-crisis era, as I've come to learn, and that's where we begin, which is in the 80s, I believe, 1986, to my memory. And so, yeah, with Frank Miller's Year One, which I have read already. I've actually already done a little bit of reading in, I'm already quite a few issues into this journey, and it's been awesome. I'm actually loving it, and I'm just excited to get to some more heavy-hitting issues or runs or whatever you call it. Because there's definitely more from what I found in Essentials reading list, and then there's a more extensive, and I've kind of gone more the extensive route just to get as many as I can. So I've only hit I think I've only read one of the Essentials, which is Year One, and then that's actually the one physical copy that I have, as well as I did purchase The Long Halloween and did start that as I initially started to follow kind of the Essentials list, and then I realized that there was a lot of story that I had kind of missed, and so I read kind of the first chapter of The Long Halloween, and I've gone back, so I'm catching back up to where I was in the timeline. And in fact, I can even list out basically my current reading order and what I intend to start with and continue through, just so if anybody wants to follow along, you can. So if you're up for it, feel free to join me. It's going to be a long process. Of course, there's kind of more of the essentials that you could read. But hey, join me. Read any amount of them. I think it'd be awesome to just discuss this with people. I intend to release videos as well. Kind of roughly covering or reviewing, each one that I read, and just discussing it. The things that I love, the things that I thought were weird or cool or whatever it is. Because again, I'm a total comic book noob, and so I kind of started this in large part just to see if I would even really enjoy comics and enjoy this medium. And I've always loved stories. Again, always loved Batman and superheroes. The DC universe. I love so much about it, but just never really got into reading comics. And so I've already, like I said, spoiler alert, I've already enjoyed a lot of it. And I look forward to just enjoying more of it as it gets more and more in depth and whatnot. But yeah, I'd love to discuss it with people. And again, give me your thoughts, give me your recommendations. Because what I hope to really accomplish with this, if you will, is, I guess, throughout this journey, especially upon coming across certain characters, I'd like to, maybe at some point, through the reading, branch off, and start reading about certain characters. I know that there's certain, like, Joker comics out there. I know that there's Robin comics, and I mean, there's so much out there, and so if you have any suggestions as we're going throughout the reading order or whatnot, I mean, it's flexible, and if there's something that I have out of place where you're like, hey, this doesn't make sense in this position here, that you should read this way later, or you should read this first, kind of a thing, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, just because I want to, for the most part, I want to kind of see things unfold, which you can't necessarily, as I've already discovered, so much of the comics or in each individual issue will jump around, in the timeline. I mean, even year one, it jumps around a lot. It takes place throughout, like, the first year, and so I've already kind of found that there's kind of some one step forward, two steps back kind of a thing in terms of throughout the timeline and the chronology, which is totally fine. I think that that's just bound to happen that way. But for me, even just being able to discover some firsts, the first encounters with certain villains, even seeing the Batmobile for the first time was kind of cool. That was a recent one that I came across, which was awesome. So yeah, stuff like that. And I'm just excited to continue to learn more. Like I said, hit me up with your suggestions. Just love to hear your thoughts around certain comics, certain characters, certain arcs, things like that. I'm excited to be part of the community. I'm late to the party. So, if you're just like me and you're new to comics, hey, join in, and we can help each other, navigate all this. But yeah, I'm excited for this, and it might even turn into, reading Superman and Wonder Woman, and like I said, so many other characters, even Marvel, a lot of different things that I hope to kind of cover on this channel. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon.